Hello everyone, welcome back to mania 7Q World Cup 2023, and we're back for the match we've all been waiting for here, which is France versus Chile, with probably the last match before we get to a long break for a while. And I'm Mifa, and I'll be commentating with Sparky here. How are you today?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Already almost halfway done with the quarterfinals weekend. Same amount of matches, but it feels like it goes by so much faster. Starting to say goodbye to some of these teams, and we're back at it again with another lower bracket match. It's going to be France, Chile, Elementaires, Jeremy Kairam, Mila Maxwell, and Clamati going up against Matthias. It's Benja, Faz CL, and Scalum. So a lot on the line for these two teams here.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like we probably progressing back to like a round of 16 match, but instead in quarterfinals we already have broken into like two sets of brackets, which is like the winner and losers bracket. And yeah, like you said before, when you have a losers brackets, and some teams we're gonna have to be eliminated, and unfortunately this is in the losers bracket match, and one of the teams here has to go home and probably being eliminated in the tournament, for at least for one of these teams here. And looking like France versus Chile is it's a pretty interesting situation, because you kind of don't know what to expect, given the teams are pretty much versatile in one area.
Yeah, for sure. It's really going to come down to who can really handle the other team's picks here. I think with Chile, they're probably going to want to stay in that upper half of the map pool. I feel like France might be just a little bit more well-rounded in terms of their skill sets. That's not to say that Chile can't hang with the hybrids and the LNs, but maybe a bit more comfort in the rice pool as we wait for the players to get settled in and everything. What are your expectations for this match?
See, the thing is that when I'm looking at the current scores in like round 16, I know for a fact that Chile has been pretty much like quite literally the veteran of the 70 team. I guess we have all seen from the World Cup back in like 2018, where Chile is actually got far into the semi-finals, which is probably like the top 8 or something like that. And those names like Scalum, Matthias also as well, with joining us in the 70 for a couple of years back, and these are quite the veterans of the Chilean team, and I feel like it's probably gonna be one of the consistent roster for basically almost every pick since so far. France, however, has some, but they have also kind of like a new basis in France as well. So I feel like it's really like when you have to consider the fact that these scores are kind of neck and neck in between every category, so like rice or long nose and hybrid. And given quarterfinals pool jumps and spikes up the difficulty quite a bit from the last round, it's gonna be probably completely new ground here, actually.
Fair enough. Definitely sounds like maybe some experience might be needed to navigate through maybe some of the nerves that can arise, especially now we're going to the longer formats, best of 11, first to 6, especially with the threat of elimination on the line. So Chile looks like they lost a roll, so they get to ban. It's gonna be Rice 4 getting knocked out from the pool, so reincarnation not going to be allowed to be picked.
Yeah, they're knocking out Korjax for Chile, which is kind of interesting. In a sense that Chile is have decent sharpshooters on their behalf, especially for Cortex, and knocking them out seems like more of a good combat reasons, especially the speed, because in 70, like, I guess Korjak at that BPM seems like a bit of a hit or miss. If you can Korjak at like the slower BPM, you're not gonna know if you can actually hit the faster Cortex in general, and this is like about 120-ish BPM. So I guess they want to be safe, I guess, for their bans.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely feels like one of those black and white skill sets where, as a team, you definitely need to be very consistent at it, because on the other side, they can probably play it equally as well, and you don't want to run the risk of finding that one drop or that 1-200 that really swings the tide. of the match, and in response, France will be banning out Rice too. So 2 Rice picks leaves the majority of the LN and hybrid pool untouched. So gonna be interesting to see them dive down into that lower half of the pool, probably for the majority of this match.
Yeah, banning the, I guess, the speedier course for no reason. I mean, that's not fun, but it's definitely like one of the I guess not a popular choice for the lower half of the teams, which is kind of interesting. And they're going for the speedier pick, which is Gypsophila. This is kind of interesting. We haven't seen that much of a pick in here, regardless.
Yeah, definitely going to lead to some interesting dynamics as we get further on into this match. This one might be a bit of a maybe scouting out where the comfort lies for Gila, see if they can poke and prod away while they still have some Rice picks in the pool before they really have to start diving down into those LN hybrids. That's probably where most of the damage will be done. So we're going to see composition starting to get lined up here. Elementaires and Clamati going in for France. Faz coming in for Gila, probably with Scalim right behind, but definitely do have a couple players that can handle
yeah, I guess should be Scallon, considering Scallon is more of a BMS oriented player. I guess he's been pretty very well knowledgeable in terms of that area. I guess Fastiel being no surprise at all, given the more speedier player for the Chilean side.
Yeah, right now just waiting on that last Chilean player to make their appearance here before we dive into the match proper. Always exciting to see who's going to come in, and it's actually going to be Benja coming in for Gila.
Ah, yeah. Benja actually played in the speed pick around 16, which is Anemone, and having here seems a decent choice. So pretty interesting to see how they were actually going to do well on it. Especially Benja's score on Anemone, as it's pretty solid so far, having the highest 984k on Anemone. So in particular, has a decent step up to it, but it has some complicated snaps for the speed pick in general.
Yeah, for sure. So final checks being done, players getting ready before we dive on into this match. As we said before, a lot on the line for these two teams. Tournament life on the line. A ticket to the semifinals as well for the winner. Players are ready. MP Star Command comes out. And we're going to get into Rice 1 here. Gypsophila to start this match off.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I should also mention that the bans of the picks here seems a bit weird when they're banning 2 Rice out of the way, and it's the more of the harder and the easier pick, and they're going for an even harder pick for the Rice category, which is the speedier one. And this seems like a Chile's area of expertise, if anything.
Yeah, it remains to be seen how France will do. And right now, right out of the gate, strong starts for Elementaires and Clamati. Faz finding a bit of a accuracy drop down into that 98% range, maybe a bit of a rush as they try and read their way through these opening patterns. Should start to even out as we dive deeper into the chart, but for right now, France holding on to the advantage as we get into the first drop.
Yeah, bit of a delay section, I guess, for Fastiel. Oh, Elementaire is finding a pretty decent drop at 112 below 99. But Fastiel trying to keep composure, which we can see with a 98, but Benja being the second person to drop.
Yeah, so 2 drops apiece, Elementaires and Spencer. Elementaires finding another one in return, not traded back just yet as we make our way into the second third of the charts. France still holding on to the advantage off the back of this very high accuracy from Clamati, 99.4 for them, but the third drop from Elementaires is going to swing the lead.
Chile already. Elementaires took a huge drop as well, 98.5-ish right now, and does seem to be on equal grounds to Fastiel, but Fastiel is holding the full combo here. Although being a lower accuracy, but it's still holding on.
Yeah, Chile holding on to the lead for the moment. Not out of the woods just yet, off the back of the fact that Clamati is still head and shoulders above everybody else with that full combo. Faz trying to respond back, but as it stands, Elementaires with the extra miss is going to be buoying this lead for Chile as we make our way into the last quarter of the chart. Players starting to recover just a little bit, but Elementaires gonna be in that low 98, but Faz!
Oh god, this is actually kind of dangerous here because only France has the one full combo and it almost swings over because both Chilean players are not holding the ground.
Yeah, full combo reset on the side of Chile, and now France takes over. It was looking dicey there for a moment, but Clamati falls as well!
The only full combo left is strong.
Elementaires!
Oh my god.
Oh my
it went pretty scary for a while. Oh my god! Massielli only wanted to drop with only 8,000 points of difference up until this ending. And Chile takes the, I guess, the break point too.
Yeah, Chile takes the first break point in this match to make it 0-1. It was looking dicey there for just a moment, but Chile able to hang on there despite that full team wipe and a couple of misses there at the end to make it a bit of a heart-and-mouth moment, but able to take the break point at the end of the day.
This is a proper way to start the match with just about a couple thousand, I mean it's 8,000 points of difference, but a couple thousand right down to the teeth of that ending. And it's going for Rice 3, which is more of a denser course stream, albeit a little bit slower.
Yeah, maybe just wanting to slow the tempo down a little bit. Gypsophila definitely giving us a bit of a scare on both sides. And this one might be maybe just a little bit more straightforward for Chile to read through. Matias coming in for Faz to read through this. Elementaires and Clamati for the moment staying put for the side of France.
Yeah, see, here's the thing about I guess the France team in general. France team has been putting up a good fight for most of the course stream picks. I guess in the round of 16 they also doing quite well. And this is just harder, but in general you have to make sure that you actually don't slip up like too much. And you probably don't want to get too complacent on the accuracy as well. Chile has been performing really solid on that ratio too.
Yeah, for sure. If they can maybe put together a bit of a clean run, maybe if Clamati didn't find that unfortunate break towards the end, might have spelled a different story for Rice 1, but that was then, this is now. Hopefully they can shake off that early break point, maybe get one back of their own, or see if Chile can capitalize and make it a quick 2-0 to start this match off.
Starting off pretty strong for both teams. I mean, no surprise given the intro in studio and the rest of this section.
Yeah, making our way through. Chile holding on to the accuracy advantage, and with that, the score lead for the moment, 99.7 plus for both of them. France not too far behind, 99.4, 99.6 for Elementaires and Clamati respectively. Able to keep this close within striking distance to capitalize on any potential mistakes as we make our way into the second quarter of this chart.
Elementaires seems to be hitting pretty early as far as time goes on, so it might have to take a toll of 200s here every now and then. So might have to watch out on that. Clamati take first drop of the France team there. Doesn't look too good as Chile already holding a solid 9.7 average.
Yeah, but that was a very clean drop overall, but that being said, it still gives Chile the advantage. They had the accuracy, and now they have an extra miss in the back pocket to work with as Clamati starts to climb back up into that 99.7 range, up above its Benja and Matias for the moment, and now they're back over that 400 combo cap.
Yeah, Matias seems to be dropping a decent chunk of that accuracy down, but it seems like they have about a 7,000 point buffer, but they're not out of the woods yet. They still have like a quarter of this song left.
Yeah, things start to pick up here towards this ending.
Oh, that's a lot of 200s of Matias!
Oh, but Elementaires trades back into this.
That trade nullifies it, and even then, I guess there's no full combos on France too. So Chile is probably cruising this way.
Yeah, we were thinking that on Rice 1, but then Chile started to find a couple of misses of their own to make things very interesting here, but it looks like they're going to keep it clean. Both full combos still on the board for Matias and it's Benja, and they're going to be able to capitalize on that breakpoint, make it 2-0 now.
That's an impressive for two full combos. I guess all combos from Chile inside. 17-10 to have 4 200s by Clamati, but having to pick up a miss there, it might have been an MVP of that particular map. But I guess it would I guess it's kind of funny given that the lead doesn't change after that break too. Given that it's only 8,000, 9,000 point difference, but it's because mainly the 200 dumped by Matthias. Seems of having the difference a bit closer than I was expecting. Yeah, Matthias said that having all 200s on the jacks. Yeah, that might have been making a difference there.
Yeah, it's always interesting starting off those simple jack patterns early, start to get the rush coming through there. So fortunately didn't break the combo when that happened, but definitely might have been a bit scary seeing all the judgments pop up on their screen. And it looks like France is gonna try and right the ship here a little bit, go down into the LNs, pick LN2 here.
I believe it's the was it Nocturne, I think?
Yes, it is gonna be Nocturne.
Yeah, yeah, it's apparently I'm not sure if this is the right song. Is it the round 16 one? But it seems like
Yeah, I believe the
yeah, we're tracing back to the round 16 apparently, but no, we're going to the most, I guess, annoying-ish LN pick because it has coordination, but not necessarily how the release is. And 4.5 stars definitely makes it has a false sense of security.
Yeah, a full team swap for France, Mila Maxwell and Jerem Kyram coming in to contest on this LN pick. The Rice hasn't worked out. Let's see if this lower half of the map pool can give them some footing in this match to start taking some points. Lest they hand over another one to Chile to help buffer this advantage that they have started this match off with Matthias, and it's been just staying in.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested to see how Chile will do on most of the long note picks in general, especially on the releases like this. It's very prone to make 200s because of the overholding, but also you letting go of the release is way too early, and you pick up a slider break and probably eventually miss. And it seems like they have a equal footing, just far up. I mean, Billy Maxwell already picking a drop, but seems team's actually taking this first drop as well, so the lead doesn't change anywhere.
Yeah, still on the side of Chile for the moment. Matthias finding a second one, Jerem Kyram trading that one back, keeping Chile in the lead for just a moment. And like you were saying, this map isn't the hardest in terms of like raw physicality, but all these 4-5 column LNs that you need to coordinate can definitely be very taxing. A lot of 200s coming out across the board, but right now both Chilean players holding strong above that 99% mark. But is Benja's next one to find a drop going into the back half of the chart?
Yeah, no full combo in this lobby anymore, but 99s across Chile is helping them really keep them afloat. Oh, that's another drop of Miller, but trading that out of Miller Maxwell.
Yeah, no harm, no foul as it stands for Chile. Still ahead, virtually tied, but is Benja going to be finding another break?
Yeah, trading. But it's still, the song is pretty short, so there's only like last third remaining with Jeremy actually taking the break, but having a 15k buffer seems having a no big deal for Chile, especially if they don't want to drop here.
Yeah, I think the coordination, the mental stamina is starting to take a bit of a toll. Jerem Kyram and it's Benja finding drops in this last quarter of the map. These trades only help Chile in this regard. They have had basically the accuracy advantage and a slew of misses in the back pocket to work with throughout this chart, and that might be the nail in the coffin from Jerem on this chart. And Chile hanging on probably something that they weren't looking forward to playing, but
wow. Yeah, that's a really solid score actually for all of these players. And look at that, like the ratio wise, Chile is nailing it.
Yeah, for sure. Matthias, I think top scoring that one and making it 3-0 in favor of Chile now. France needing to find an answer here before things start to get too far out of hand, but it is going to be Chile's pick to capitalize once again.
It seems like the way to go is going for the I guess the more than the mixed rice pick, which is like the rice 5. I forgot what it was, but it was the evenings map, and I guess it's supposed to naval, which Is the more mixed rice like the one that you think that Chips Mila has the more physicality on hitting the speed? Jose now has the best of the both worlds, for I guess if you consider Rice 1 and Rice 3.
Oh, but it's gonna be Rice 6 coming out to Milan.
Oh yeah, that is the first time we've seen on after 3 matches we haven't seen this pick at all. Either it's ignored or banned.
Yeah, it's a pretty risky pick overall. Not surprised players want to avoid this one, if at all possible, as we start to see some more substitutions come out. Clamati coming back in, probably to back up Mila unless they find a late departure.
Yeah. I mean, as someone who actually mains Forky like a whole lot for at least for a lifetime, I find Melon is actually the easiest of the Rice picks. So it's kind of a thing when you have tech picks in like the 70 area where it doesn't really test so much as tech, but it can just kind of cheese the pattern in a way that you may think that this is actually how it's played.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be interesting to see how the players approach it. So Faziel checking back in for Chile for Matias to back up its Benja. Clamati coming in to back up Mila Maxwell. Currently 3-0 in Chile's favor. Still an opportunity for France to try and take some break points. Gonna need to if they want to try and force the issue here and take this lead back.
I guess with every flashbook intro, it always has something like that. Just pretty chill patterns until the snap like this starts to kick in.
So many flams, so many grace notes. Like you were saying, it's so easy to just play all those grace notes as just a singular chord, but it's gonna be at a cost to your accuracy. And right now, France holding on to the lead for the moment. That being said, it's a very fragile lead. Both Faziel and its Benja, but Faz is going to find the break, and that's going to help cushion this lead for France.
Oh, actually, it's Benja taking a severe hit with a 200 drop. I guess 3 or 4 200s at that, too. Clamati doesn't seem to be escaping that unscathed.
Yes, highest accuracy in the lobby for Clamati here. 99.5 for them. Mila doing everything they can to lend their support at the moment ahead of both their Chilean counterparts. Faz finding another drop as we make our way into the back half. Things starting to pick up here, and the mysteries are starting to come out here. Benja and Mila trade.
Yeah, only Kokomo living Clamati, and Clamati is just really chilling at this point. Yeah. Just really trying to handle like players like no tomorrow, and Clamati still hanging out the, I guess, the only 99 in this lobby.
Yeah, everybody else being taken for a bit of a ride. Clamati just kind of chilling right now as we make our way into the last quarter of the chart. All these trades back and forth, only helping France in this regard. It's Benja. Clamati actually finds the drop in the last quarter, but when all is said and done,
the drop isn't that severe. Yeah, the drop isn't that severe, and the lead is actually too big for Chile to come back up. Even with multiple misses, it does still seem to have France taking the lead. I guess taking the break point as well.
Yeah, it is exactly what France needed to right the ship a little bit. They were reeling from from their first 2 picks, but getting this break point, making it 3-1 now with their pick.
All of these scores are very similar to one each other, except for Clamati having the best ratio and probably the only less miscount. Only 2 misses on that.
Yeah, I think it was just one burst that might have caught him out there towards the end. Very respectable score from them. The type of scores, the type of performance that they needed before Chile let this lead get out of hand. So France on the board now with their pick. Be interesting to see what they decide.
Yeah, France has a short breather for that break point, but it's not going to last long. They're still down by 2 points, and they still have to pick, I guess, with the only one rice pick remaining, and everything else is just long-run hybrids.
Yeah, gonna need to bite the bullet here eventually. They already have dipped their toes into the lower half of the map pool. Nocturne was one of their picks. Didn't work out too well for them, but that might just be down to the style of the chart. Maybe wanting to get rid of it early before Chile potentially used it against them later on in the match. So maybe
Rain Shower might be their best pick. I mean, Chuno Hazama or Rain Shower in this case, the hybrid one. Oh, they're going for Rice 5. They're exhausting all the Rice picks at this point.
yeah, they just enjoy the Rice a little bit too much, wanting to get rid of all potential options here. Fuzzy Navel going to be the pick for France to try and lower this deficit even further. Matias checking back in for Chile, giving its Benja a bit of a break here.
Yeah, seems like they don't want to risk Elementaires coming back in for France, especially when considering Gypsophila was the first pick that they had. Doesn't work out too well for them. And Lisa Maxwell also enjoying this quite so far, so it seems like a decent, I guess, roster to pick up to fill in for France.
Yeah, some mid-match adjustments potentially. Mila definitely enjoying these Rice charts a little bit more than Elementaires did on Rice 1, like you were mentioning, but as we get on into this no other substitutions, it is going to be Mila and Clamati looking to try and close this deficit even further, make it only 1 point between themselves and Gila as we get into this chart. Very strong starts across the board here.
Yeah, but this is literally mixed rice pick, as it just have everything on your behalf to it. So you really have to basically nail everything. But Matias actually finding a severe drop too, which is below the 99s already.
Yeah, down below 99% and giving France an incredibly large buffer to work with very early on into this chart. Clamati really putting in some work here as Faz not finding any breaks, but down below 99% as well. Going to help extend this lead for France.
Look at France go already. There's a like 9.5 average and Clamati is having the best time of their life.
Yeah, for sure. Faz and Matias struggling just a little bit here. Faz finding a break a little bit earlier. Matias coming to join them as well. Both FCs still on the board for France as Faz finds another break. Going into the back half of the chart, both French players above that 99% mark, and this is quickly spiraling out of control. This lead growing for the red side as we make our way into the last third of the chart here.
I mean, so far there's been no miss for France. I mean, not cursing it, because this seems like a decent lead to gain. Even there's misses for France, there's still about 45,000 points of difference.
When there's a couple misreads from Clamati going into his next quarter stream section, last quarter of the chart left to go, it puts a little bit of a dent in the lead. Milo Maxwell following well. So full team wipe for France, and Chile does have some combo to work with here. So not out of the woods yet, another drop from Mila, and this lead is shrinking.
We're shrinking to 15k at this point, but the ending is actually spikes up in difficulty quite hard, but it doesn't seem like it to be Chile's point. Clamati is extra miss, but the ending seems to be on France's side here. Wow, 2-3 now.
Oh, I was looking a little bit dicey there at the end of the chart. Was maybe just 10-20 seconds longer. Maybe Chile gets in with a shout, but fortunately for France, the map ends and they pick up their second point, able to capitalize on a breakpoint of their own now as Chile comes back up to pick. And now things start to get a little bit interesting. All the rice charts are gone, so hybrids and LNs from here on out. Can Chile find an avenue to round this match out, or does France have an avenue back in?
Yeah, there seems to be just Lono and hybrid like you said before, but I guess given Chile won nocturne by quite a fair margin, Ju Rokuji or the LN1 should be a decent chance here for Chile to win, but at the same time, you kind of want to know how to gauge the other hybrid things, and they're going for the, I guess, the full life, you want to call it, but yeah, LN4.
Yeah, LN4 going to be the pick. Mage of Violet coming out for Chile. Probably the lesser of all evils remaining in the map pool for them. Probably don't want to get into the coordination stuff willingly. We'll probably try and get the breakpoints away from France if they can. So
yeah. So if they actually kind of like guessing if they picking this, it would kind of having a decent choice for picking the LN3, which is a density thing. And this is more of a mixed LN. guess you do want to call that. It has everything. It has more of a release and more coordination part. So having the LN3 pick out of the way for Chile, it's actually a decent information to have.
Yeah, for sure. So, as it stands, both Mila Maxwell and Clamati staying in for France. I think they found the power duo to make their way through for the moment. No need for Jerem or Elementaires to come back in if these two have been doing the bulk of the heavy lifting for France. It's Benja tagging in for Chile on this pick.
Yeah, I think it's more like the Matias has Benja having like I guess the best scores in the entire lobby for Nocturne. So I'm guessing this would be similar in that case, although this is a bit different, but I guess not sure. I mean, not bit, it's actually extremely different as a category for a chart like this.
Yeah, it remains to be seen how comfortable they are as the style of the LNs change. Still gotta hold notes at the end of the day, so see how they do here. Can France tie things up here with a breakpoint, or can Chile keep their 1 point advantage as we make our way into Mage of Violet? And Clamati gonna find a very early break, a very early couple of breaks.
That's actually from 99.7 to basic about 99 here. That's actually a couple, two or three misses on that point.
Yeah, maybe just misreading some of those patterns very early on. Thankfully, it is very early on, and Matias does find a trade in return, but for right now, Chile holding on to the advantage. Both their players in that 99% range, Clamati and Mila, down to the low 99s, and Clamati on
these releases, and Clamati overholding like crazy, 98.5 from that.
Yeah, full combo reset on the side of France. Mila Maxwell as well, losing their FC. Gonna help cushion this lead for Chile at the moment, going into the second quarter of the map, and this lead quickly spiraling out of control off the back of its Benja, holding on to the FC for the moment here.
Yeah, even though this is still before we get to hit the second half of it, it seems like this doesn't really have too much to cover here. Clamati having some bit of an issue in that, just to even hit releases in general, and even then Matias having drawbacks before that, but the accuracy stays intact.
Yeah, just cleaner drops overall from the side of Chile, and the fact that its Benja is doing a boatload of work right now. 99.3 for them, still holding on to the FC. Everybody able to hold on to the rolls, and as I say that, its Benja does find the drop. Is traded back.
It doesn't. The drop from Clamati doesn't look as severe as before because we might have figured it out how to release it properly. But even then, the damage for the 58-point difference for Chile, but Chile has a miss from Matias and Clamati being traded that out.
Yeah, and right now Mila Maxwell holding on to the highest combo in the lobby, trying to keep this in check, but right now Chile is still holding on to this massive advantage. Matias finds a drop in the transition, but Benja...
At some point, the lead is closing at some point. Look at that, like a 7k point. Oh, Clamati actually traded that out of Benja as well. It's actually down to 5k now.
Yeah, right now, silently, Mila Maxwell has been slowly but steadily building up this combo, the only one not to trade any of the misses back after their early couple of drops. And as we make our way into the last sliver of map, this lead is starting to get very slender. It was a pretty comfortable advantage for Chile, but
actually closing in, the lead is getting smaller at some point. They need to hold their ground. France needs to actually try climbing back up, but it seems like there's not much of the map left.
We're not going to be enough at the end of the day, and Chile survive.
6,000 points of difference. It just comes to this at this point, right? Look at that. There's no misses on the map, so only one slider break to its stat.
Yeah, it just seemed to be a onslaught of slider breaks from Clamati that was their undoing. You can imagine if they had managed to hold a little bit longer, maybe we have a different story on our hands. But Chile survived that little scare there and make it 4-2 now, with France up to pick.
Yeah, at this point, Chile's picking LN3 is very risky at this point, given how France nailing the density of that chart.
Yeah, you start to wonder maybe the if LN1 becomes a consideration for France to go into. See if they can hold on just that little bit longer.
And I don't know what France has to pick though, because Chile is picking this, and I mean, I guess that's fine because Chile has a room to make dues on what to pick now. But France has very little options outside the hybrids.
I mean, it might have to be the hybrids coming out. You were alluding to Rain Shower, Shuna Hazama a little earlier. Maybe that becomes an option. You do still have Remorse and Simberg as well, but I mean, it's really just a pick your poison moment here for France as they try to keep themselves in this match. And it is going to be Rain Shower.
Oh boy, oh boy. We're in for the long haul, given that this is actually the longer one. I guess in the 2021 iteration, the 4D, where it's actually the cut version, but this one is more fully charted. So we got some taste of a double the duration of it.
Yeah, clocking in at just under 4 minutes. And we have seen some of these charts go back and forth. Teams winning points by sheer virtue of the map running out of time. So maybe with this extended one gives an opportunity for the team that's behind to mount a bit of a comeback, maybe take that lead away. Definitely cannot rest on your laurels for even a moment. As we see Faz come back in for Chile to contest on this hybrid.
I don't seem to. Okay, I mean I'm holding my opinion on this, but given that the chart itself, the ending actually has a de-escalation, and the middle has spikes up in difficulty so much that you kind of want to make sure that you're actually playing a hybrid as the best as you can, because this doesn't seem like a rice pick as well. So having to hold longness at the same time, it's kind of a tough job for Chile, especially for Faciel.
Yeah, it's gonna be up to them to keep themselves afloat for as long as possible, see if they can handle the LNs interspersed throughout some of the denser rice charting in the song. That being said, it is France's pick. Gotta watch these releases. Very easy to find yourself dropping so many 200s very early on. But right now, everybody managing to make it through.
I mean, just make it through just barely, because there's no lead.
No, we're virtually tied as we make our way into the first drop here. It is Clamati going up against Benja for right now. 99.6, 99.5 a piece for them. Mila Maxwell holding Faz in check. Actually, Faz winning that battle. 99.3 to 99.2, canceling both each other out.
They're increasing their accuracy at the same pace. And Clamati and Benja is almost literally tied.
Yeah, I think right now it's the finest of marches. Maybe a 0.1% between these two teams. Maybe just thousands of points. Maybe shrinking into the hundreds as we make our way into the second third of the chart. All four players still holding on to their FCs. You imagine playing a bit of a cat and mouse game. Who's gonna blink first? And it's gonna be Faz!
Just Faciel. That's what I mentioned before. And we come to the before we hold us to the saxophone. And Faciel taking one more drop in that section, and it doesn't still give the lead to France just yet.
Very narrow one. They had the accuracy. They were very clean drops. Maybe just singular notes being missed in those sections as we make our way into the back half of the chart. Now France holding on to this narrow advantage. Oh boy, this is still anyone's game.
No lead whatsoever from this point onward.
No, this is way too close to call. Despite the fact that it is trending to the red side, it is getting closed in on by Chile. It is starting to shrink.
There's a lot of 200s from Mila Maxwell. Faciel recovering that accuracy.
But very importantly, both players from France holding on to their FCs, able to keep Chile at bay for the moment.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's the difference between Mila and Maxwell.
It's just a tug of war at this point. There's no combo draw whatsoever from these teams. This is insane. Oh no, Benja Faciel! There's a collapse there from Chile. There it is. France is holding on so well, and they're still at full combo pace.
There's still a quarter of the chart left to go. A bit of a hiccup from Chile as things start to calm down just a little bit. A bit of an LN section 2. basically catch your breath. That was a brutal onslaught, and the transition out of it really catching Chile and taking them for a bit of a ride as they start to recover to that 400 combo cap. Mila Maxwell gonna drop.
Oh, wow. You don't want to get too complacent to this ending.
All eyes on Clamati. Can they hold on to the FC? Last eighth of the chart left to go. France in the lead for the moment on their pick. They need to make it through this last section if they want to have a chance of trying to get back into this match. The LNs get so dense to read through. Everybody making it through. Still no drops here. France still in the lead for the moment. Miller fights a break though.
This is Miller Maxwell. There's about 6,000 points in their support. The standard deviation of the score is actually down to close here. But Bastiel, oh wow, Miller Maxwell trading that up. Oh wait, the score difference is actually virtually 2,000 points. Oh my god.
That is a 1,600 point win on a close to 4-minute map for France. Clamati with the FC when it matters to pull France and make it 4-3 now. Chile up to pick here to try and make it a match point situation, but you would imagine the momentum and the good feelings are on the side of France right now.
Can I just say these players are absolutely spectacular. They're all holding their combos up right into the middle before Bastiel breaks on the break. And they actually went down to full combo the chorus or the stack split section, and they went out all ham until France actually had a bit of a meltdown towards the ending.
Yeah, it was a bit of a war of attrition. That one singular section in the middle of the chart being the undoing at the end of the day for Chile. France doing everything in their power to basically tank the misses that came through. I mean, with a chart that long, they are inevitable, but oh my goodness, what a performance from France to hold Chile off to only 1,600 points. And despite that chart being 3 minutes 45 seconds long, it still came down. If the chart was just 15-20 seconds longer, I think Chile would have actually had enough time to pull it back. Not to be though, and it's going to be LN1 coming out from Chile.
Yeah. I guess this is no surprise coming in that Nocturne went so well for Chile. Although this is a bit more of a release, I guess more release oriented one. So it's still pretty different, all things considered. But they went after how they well with Nocturne. So Chile has an advantage on this. I guess if you want to call that an advantage.
Yeah, it really just comes down to concentration on picks like this. Gonna basically lower the energy levels a little bit. Just go for a little bit of a stroll here, if I'm allowed to say that. 1 minute 40 seconds, a very short chart in comparison to Shuno Hazama, and we see Matthias check back in.
Yeah, it's very short. Although there's less risk involved in combo breaking. I mean, if you want, there's more risk into actually having to make sure you're not dropping 200s left and right. And this is how Ellen release oriented goes, right? So it's just like, even with OD6, it's still very prone to get you 200s with overholding a lot of these.
Yeah, for sure. So players are ready. We are gonna get into this map, waiting for all the players to sync up. There we go.
Doesn't seem like an afternoon stroll if the background is literally like a cafe or restaurant or whatever that is. Miller Maxwell having a slight more of an inconsistency on release chart like this. Hit areas all over the place, but not to avail because Matthias has the same problem.
Yeah, so very early on, Chile gonna hold on to this very narrow lead. Dare I even call it a lead? It's starting to flicker back and forth as we transition into the second quarter of the chart. Everybody getting above that 400 combo cap now is going to be very important to hold on. Any drops gonna swing this lead massively in one way or the other.
Oh god. How is this not a lead at all? What? I mean, Matthias has a decent job of recovering his accuracy, but it's still gone to the... Oh wow, there's a real big meltdown from France right there. So the lead is actually when skyrocketed Chile.
Yeah, and that's just the nature of picks like this. Very volatile. If you start to find those misses, it can definitely spiral out of control. So now a massive cushion for GLA to work with. Its Benja does finally trade the miss back, but the damage has been done. Last third of the chart upcoming. Matthias, sole survivor in terms of FCs in this lobby, and that's really,
wow.
as I say that,
Already.
finds the drop. Last quarter
Actually,
left to go.
lead has been cut down to about 10,000. Actually, even less than that. Actually, so just to be careful not to hold too much 200s.
Yeah, but this map is already coming to an end. Last little chart, but it's Benja finding a miss.
Benja!
Oh my goodness!
Oh my god!
Is there enough time?
God,
It's starting to flicker. Watch the releases.
It's releases. Oh my god!
Every single one.
France takes the break point! It's now 4-all now!
Oh my goodness.
Like I said before, the ending, this trip up, they do get complacent towards the ending, and France takes that break point.
Oh, that's just pure timing of misses. The fact that France was able to recover their combo, get back up over that 400 combo cap, as Chile found their breaks, gave them just enough time to pull the lead back, and now it's basically a best of 3.
It's still on deadline. Look at that! Look at that Chile's performance. There's no misses. It's just barely on the slider break at the end, while France has a miss and a slider break each. Where did that come from?
That... I don't know how to explain that one. That is... like I said, that just comes down to timing. And France going to try and capitalize here. Going to go to Hybrid 3.
Oh wow, this is Submerge. This is a bit more risky on Hybrid side. I don't know what to say. This is literally how like Rain Shower goes. Except this is more staircase heavy.
Yeah, definitely some risk involved, but you definitely need to start taking those risks if you want to try and come out on top. Cannot afford to give away any more breakpoints, if at all possible. And as things stand, both teams win their pick. I see a tiebreaker on the horizon. Don't want to call it just yet, but...
Yeah, well... I mean, we all want to see a tiebreaker, at least at the very least, because I don't think we're probably gonna get one later once. Although I might be proven wrong at this point.
Remains to be seen. Fazio gonna check back in for Chile, and it's been this duo, Mila Maxwell and Clamati, putting in work for France for the moment. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And let's see if they can continue this streak.
Yeah, I should also mention I think they were probably like down from 1-2 to 4. So having them winning 2 points on that one is a huge morale boost, nevertheless, for France.
For sure, and this is a very strong start for France. Clamati, the only player above that 99% range, as everybody starts to settle in a little bit. Still very early on, crossing that 400 combo cap just now as the first bursts start to come out here.
Matia's hitting ever so early, so it might have been a toss. It's a toss-up of the accuracy, which is like a 98.8, and Fazio having a severe drop too with a 98.2.
Yeah, gonna find the first couple of misses as well. Gonna help cushion this lead for France for the moment as we transition into the second quarter of the chart. Both their players holding on to their FCs and above that 99% mark. Both players from Chile down in that 98% mark. And a full team wipe from Chile on the same note.
That's a kill on the combo streak with Chile. And look at France go. They basically don't care.
Yeah, they are in cruise control for the moment. Lead quickly spiraling out of control. Clamati does eventually trade it back here, but that's only gonna be a small dent, a drop in the bucket for France to worry about. But that second one's gonna start doing a little bit of damage here. Mila Maxwell only FC left in the lobby, and that's really keeping them afloat as they find the drop on the transition.
Oh wow, is this gonna be another one, isn't it?
This is going to come down to the wire. Not out of the woods just yet if you are France. Last third of the chart left to go. You still have this cushion to work with. You do have the accuracy advantage, and that drop from Faz is going to help soften the blow a little bit. Maybe stop the charge for the moment, but you definitely cannot afford to find any more drops. Matthias falls as well.
Yeah.
is traded back by Clamati here. Last quarter of the chart coming up. And as we continue on, Clamati only player above that 99% mark, and that's really making the difference here at the moment as Matthias finds yet another one. Last little chart left to go, and France restoring their lead, restoring their cushion here. Looked a little bit dicey there in the middle, but
yeah, but it seems like Chile has taken way too much damage into the ending too. And I feel like this is one of the more decisive wins for France at this point. Just look at that, about 46,000, which is 45,000, which is a lot more than every other picks that we already seen winning so far.
Yeah, I think everything else was in like that 4-digit scoreline range. This one a convincing one for France, and I think they needed that to try and calm the nerves a little bit.
Oh wow! They don't respect hesitancy. They're going with the last hybrid.
Alrighty, so clearing out the hybrid picks as well. LN3 going to be ignored in this match. We're going to go into remorse, and hopefully Chile has no remorse picking this as they try and force a tiebreaker.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just don't know what to expect. This is TV size playing, and France has a very good stick on keeping combos. If that's what I'm gathering. I don't know about you, but this seems like a bit of a risk. This is a death. This seems like a death and risk situation here.
Yeah, this is going to come down to similar to LN1, where whoever blinks first is probably going to be the one. Actually, no. If you blink first and recover, was what happened on LN1. So maybe the first miss isn't the worst thing in the world, but you definitely don't want to give your opponent an opportunity to take this point away from you if at all possible. So Chile, on the cusp of being eliminated, need to win this to force the tiebreaker. France need to take this break point to close this match out and avoid it at all costs here.
Seems a bit of a rocky start for Benja, having 100, literally 100 on the release, but it's a TV size leg, right? So nothing bad.
And we start to dive on into it. A lot of LN bursts, very hard to read through, very awkward to maintain, but so far all 4 players holding onto the combos. Clamati and Benja trade. Mila Maxwell falls as well.
Oh wow, only Faciel is holding on, but I'm not gonna call it too early because the lead is still nothing. Clamati, that's a drop right there. We're already halfway through the chart.
That exchange helps Chile for the moment. After that first exchange, Faciel, the only one left standing with a full combo at the moment. But that being said, they're not out of the woods just yet. We're already in the last third of the chart. Things start to build back up here.
They need to be playing out of their minds because it's still about 10k point difference, and one miss could spell the death sentence.
Cannot afford to blink. Clamati falls, but his Benja trades it back here.
It's still one striking distance. Chile will probably have to nail this section, and it's probably going to tiebreaker.
Oh my goodness, Faciel, when called upon, similar to Clamati, FCs it on command, and we are going to tiebreaker.
We're going to see and getting that machine gun style.
Oh my goodness. What a performance. We have seen some very, very close points in this match so far. Unable to find an outright winner in the main map pool.
And at this point, I just don't know what to guess. Who's the winner in this situation? And Faciel doesn't have a clue that they actually nailed it off with an FC on that stick.
Yeah, they're saying their keyboard's double tapping. Did not notice it at all during that last pick. Thankfully, the keyboard held on.
How,
it would have been a disaster.
How does that help? How does that help MC the ref if he does double tap?
This is going to be a heart-and-mouth moment. 5 minutes of a Camellia tiebreaker. Where have we heard this before? The lifeblood of most Mania tiebreakers.
Yeah. Well, couldn't have a Oceania tournament without a Chameleon pick. That's pretty classic. Although
sure.
not that very classic, as we have plenty of variety on the tiebreaker so far.
Yeah, and it looks like no substitutions from either side. It's Benja and Faziel gonna be staying in for Chile, gonna try and pull themselves over the line. Mila, Maxwell, and Clamati. Actually, as I say that, it's Benja departs. Who is going to come in? Matthias or Skalin?
I'm not sure. Okay. I'm not sure if the speed requirement for this, because the ending spikes up a lot, and I don't know if anyone's like gonna hit that fluidly.
Remains to be seen. Stranger things have happened on tiebreakers. The moment for players to rise above and overperform, push their limits to bring themselves to the next round. It is going to be the dynamic duo Mila, Maxwell, and Clamati doing the work, the battering ram for France to pull themselves to this situation. Faziel and Matthias gonna try and answer back.
Yeah, we'll see if this tiebreaker actually makes Clamati and Faziel playing out their minds, because they literally are just a duo of taking every MVP in this entire match. We'll see if they can do this on this tiebreaker. We have a rocky start for Ellen Walls for Faziel, but nothing too bad considering it's 5 minutes long.
Yeah, these early drops are going to start to even out as the chart goes deeper and deeper. The very important thing is to hold on to your combo for as long as possible. And Faz is going to find the first drop in the build-up here.
Not quite the build-up yet. It goes to the speed up.
A lot of staircases to
That's
deal
a
with
lot
here.
of flurry 200s. Clamati takes that drop. It's even out, but not so much because the accuracy favors France so much.
Oh, but there's a full combo reset on the side of France. Mila, Maxwell, and Clamati both finding drops in the transition, but there is no combo left across the board. Everybody finding misses in this section as we transition into the second quarter of the chart. Nobody above that 400 combo cap. Faz and Mila Maxwell finally crossing it as it stands. Everybody in that 98% range.
Wow.
But as I say that, Mila falls, Faz falls.
Wow, there's a lot of early hits for Faziel and Mila Maxwell that cost them the accuracy. Which, so much that Clamati and Matthias is actually the whole team carry for the moment.
A full lobby reset as we transition out of that Ki section. And as the dust settles just a little bit fast, finding another drop in this next build-up. Matthias and Mila fall as well. Everybody handles that role well. Clamati, the only one.
There's only 10k point difference at this point. We still have some materials in this map going on.
Yeah, a bit more of a tech-oriented section. Faz finds a drop, gonna help cushion this lead for France for the moment. An opportunity to build as both Mila and Clamati over that 400 combo cap. Gonna get full credit for their judgments as we transition into the back half of the chart. Everybody handling the staircases, and we go into a bit more of an LN.
This is scary because anything can happen at this point, because the LN section is really dense.
Yeah, Mila and Clamati fall.
There's no combo drop for Chile, and it seems like they're actually holding their grounds really well.
Matthias, highest combo in the lobby, falls. Mila trades it back here. Now it's on the shoulders of Faziel, about to cross the 1,000 combo mark as we make our way fully into the back half of the chart. Still not out of the woods just yet, but Faz falls.
God. Also, this more of a slow section. The Clamati is still holding that 99, which is absolutely impressive. Coming to the last third of this chart too.
Yeah, definitely not out of the woods just yet if you are France. Still room for a comeback. About 2 minutes of this chart left to go.
There's still a definite possible comeback because the ending spikes up so much. Although we're not quite there yet, so there's still about a buffer they can actually hold on to.
Yeah, for sure. In this section, giving everybody an opportunity on the build-up. Millimax will going to be the first one to fall
Yeah,
before things start to really kick off.
Oh, but it's not quite there just yet.
Matthias trades it back as well.
Mila Maxwell having so much trouble on the releases, although the same thing could be said for Chile right now. It's about 24 points. 21.
As the dust settles here, Clamati, last one left standing. Only player above that 99% mark, able to keep both Chilean players at bay. Mila doing their best to lend their support. Matthias finds a break as well as things start to pick up once again. The final Ki section, Clamati finally does fall, finds a number of misses at the moment, strains the lead. Mila falls as well. Chile has some combo to work with here, but Faz... Oh, is there enough time? Matthias falls.
There's still some time left in the 25k, although even the pie chart actually draws so close. But watch the ending to it. Was actually going to take the damage the most here.
Huge Allen walls to deal with. Watch these releases. Mila falls, but I think this cushion for France might be a little bit too much. Oh, a full combo reset. Once again, Chile is holding for the moment. Is there enough chart left to go? Matthias falls.
Oh wow, Kamadi's taking so much damage, but Matthias also as well. Although there's still much left, though. Not sure who's actually gonna win this, but France is seen to take the brunt of that, and they're winning the tiebreaker 6-5 against Chile.
Oh my goodness, as the dust settles, France stands tall over Chile, knocking them out of the 7-key World Cup in very dramatic fashion. There were some very tight points throughout this match.
What a way to make an exit out of this tournament. Putting up a good of a fight for France and also for Chile. So congratulations to both of them too. And France will be actually moving on to the semi-finals this bracket.
Yeah, congratulations to France. Pulling out some nail-biting points and able to take it in the end through the tiebreaker. Commiserations to Chile for falling here in the quarterfinals, but definitely put up quite a heck of a fight. But that will do it for this match and for this block of one match. Gonna take a pretty significant break.
Yeah, we got about around like 9 to 10 hours, which already have upcoming matches starting right here. We got a little bit of a 9 hours break before we can see Vietnam versus Canada also being in the losers bracket. And not far from that, which is 2 hours, which is the winners bracket, it seems like. We got China versus United States from that too. And although we can continue on with the other two other matches, which is one also the winners bracket too. Also Malaysia versus Spain and South Korea versus Brazil as the final matchup for the quarterfinals.
Yeah, but that will do it for the matches for today. Join us as we come back in about 9 hours, but Mifa, there's a couple more orders of business left to take care of. You know what I want to do to try and support these players?
Seems like there's something, but I can't really recall what's that.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, the banners for the 7-key World Cup are in the store now, and oh boy, do I love decorating my profile on OS. So for only $2.50, you can show your support to any of the teams, including the ones that have already been eliminated. Decorate your profile just a little bit, lend your support, and help improve the prize pool for the players. But there is also another way you can support the tournament. If $2.50 isn't enough of a donation to give over, you can also donate to the Open Collective, an initiative we have started since last year to help increase the size of the prize pools, to give a little bit more to the players to help deliver you guys an even better tournament experience overall.
Yeah, all that experience will come in handy, especially all of those banner purchasing and even a donation to the Open Collective, and all proceedings will go into that prize pool just to make every support counts for all of these players, especially for the first place and second place and the third place of that tournament. So that's pretty much it, really. Go support your favorite teams and also go support for the tournament as well.
Yep, but until then, we'll catch you guys later.
Yeah, see you for the next match.